Everybody, welcome to the daily political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Look who's here. One of my favorite people in all the world. It's Jen Lynn. Jen Lynn is here. And let me edit this. Yeah, there we go. I'll just make that a little shorter since you kind of know where you are. All right. See previous videos for opening rigmarole. I'm here 365 days of the year. You are awesome. I am grateful for you. 10% of my income goes to feeding America, and that's an ongoing thing. We have epic troll slayers, and we have a fantastic community, and you make it that way. Also, Becca's in the house.
Becca's in the house. Becca.
Hello.
I was just texting her. We were chit-chatting back and forth about the Chernobyl.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to actually jump in. I'm going to skip down. The questions are down in the, if you're watching this on replay, hello. Questions are down in the description box, and I timestamp them as I go along. But I'm going to skip all the New York stuff right now to go down to Russia.
If you're joining us in the chat and you want to join us for a candle lighting, I have a candle here we're going to light later for Ukraine.
Absolutely.
Get a candle ready.
Shay, would you like to do that now? Or we'll wait. It's up to you.
Whenever.
Well, let's do it now. This would be good to call down spirit, because we really need spirit right now. Yes. I decided to wear pink and gray today. Gray on. I figured if it's good enough for the inside of prisons to cut down on aggression, it's good enough for me.
There you go.
I'm so upset about all this.
I'm just going to invoke some archangel energy here. So Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Ariel, we surrender to your mercy, compassion, and healing. We ask you to protect Ukraine, to protect the refugees, to protect their president and all of their people. We ask you to assist them in getting the Russian aggressors out of their country so that all the refugees can return home safely. We thank you for putting a brilliant white light around their country, bringing peace and calm, a beautiful pink, blissful light, protecting everyone in that country and letting them know we are with them. And I'm just going to get up a minute and put this in my windowsill in case Lucy jumps up here.
Oh, no worries.
Is everybody breathing?
Yep. Oh, I do feel better after that.
It's hard to not watch the news 24/7 when things are going on in the world.
Yeah, with all this crazy going on. This morning I was, it was actually more about New York, but I was also upset about Ukraine. But so I was listening to you and Johnny from last night.
And I didn't get a chance to watch you and Kirsten yet to see what you were getting. Were you getting similar things, like some payoffs involved, or no?
Yep. But this morning I was so angry that I was just so angry at the it's kind of the cruelty of Putin, the cowardice of the people who should be holding, from the worst of the worst Putin down to Bragg. All these people who are not working for the light, who are not working for the greater good. I was just so upset. So it was like, all right. So I got out my vacuum cleaner and I'm cleaning. There's a runner. It's wood, but there's this carpet runner down this staircase, 15 steps, and I've got my vacuum there, and I'm cleaning cat hair out of the carpet. And you know how there's that little barb at the end of cat fur that makes it stick to everything.
Yeah, it's
Well,
hard
I'm
to
just
get off of runners.
right. So I'm just sitting there, and it's like, do not hold Trump accountable. This is attacking countries that aren't your own. What is wrong with these people? So 15 stairs of me. Then I shower.
It's like sucking up all the negative dirt.
Right.
Like you're inspired to, I have a runner that goes down my stairs, and my little hand vac won't pick it up. So I'm always taking the cat brush. I have one specifically for the carpet that goes down the stairs. It's the only place I have carpet in the whole house, but I take a cat brush and use it to comb the hair off of it to get it out, because it weaves into the carpet.
Yeah. Yeah, it absolutely sticks in there.
Anybody
Thank you,
that's a
Mara.
cat understands.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mara. Oh boy. So I think actually where I would like to start is what's actually currently question 6. At what 6:30? I was just looking at. Oh, here it is. Okay. At 6:30, let's start with what the heck is going on? Why does Putin want Chernobyl? Is there a particular focus on that? Or is it just like, oh, it's one of the towns along the way he's taking over? Or is he specifically trying to get Chernobyl?
Yeah, because those of us that are old enough remember that in 1986, Chernobyl had a nuclear meltdown, and nobody, like the whole town, I thought was decimated. Like you couldn't go in there unless you had on a hazmat suit. Everything was radioactive. So apparently they've reopened it as their nuclear waste facility.
Oh,
It's definitely where they store nuclear waste. So I'm guessing, but we'll see what the cards say. Like he wants to get a hold of the nuclear waste and maybe use it as a threat.
what the heck is going on?
It's just pure evil. Let's see. Why does he want Chernobyl? I was surprised because I didn't know that they had ever reopened it.
Well, let me know what you got. And I hope your cards are not as bad as mine. Ashley, I agree. He's lost his whole dang mind. Yes. Roses and Bees saying pure evil. Yep.
I think he wants to weaponize it to get. I've got
Ding, ding.
judgment on the bottom here.
Mm-hmm. Ding, 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 ding. That's exactly what I'm getting.
Yeah, he wants to block them from it. He's got plans for it. Strengthen the devil to force them to retreat. And I think he will get Chernobyl here. So yeah, he's got some treacherous plans for it, and it's another thing he wants to do to delay fighting from what he considers the rebels, the Ukrainians. It's a power move. It's a total power move. But it's also a way of trying to get people to go away, like to move away from that area. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Ding, ding, ding. We're crafting things that cause the worst fear, confusion, chaos. Suspend, bring Russia, basically get rid of the Ukrainian government to bring Ukraine into the fold of Russia, take that stuff and craft it into to cause the worst of the worst of the worst.
You know what I'm getting to there with that hangman and world card you've got, I'm getting delaying the rest of the world from coming in there and trying to stop them. Like scare them like, oh, we got nuclear stuff now. We got radiation and nuclear stuff as a way of trying to delay anyone else from coming in to assist the Ukrainians. For entertainment purposes only, if you can believe this YouTube.
And by the way, if I'm rolling my eyes or I'm just so like it's never at you. Trust me, it's this situation is making me. Oh look, didn't you have a victory card?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Well, that would turn the tide of war. Instead of Russia being on the defensive in those areas, they could put on their hazmat suits and go forward. And it's not just there. It might actually be in other places too. Like set things up so other people, you're right, other people are less willing to fight.
Yeah, it's to help them bring victory, and scare everybody else, and it's a power play. Putin always shows up for me now as the King of Swords. It's like he used to show up as the King of Cups for me, but now that Biden's in, Biden shows up as King of Cups for me. My card shifted.
Yeah. Okay. All right. At this point, we're talking about dirty bombs. Where I need to sit down. Yeah. Okay. That's okay. We're sitting down. I don't drink.
You usually stand at your desk.
Yeah, I don't drink, but boy, if somebody offered me like a mimosa right now, I'd be like, sure.
That's wine.
Something. All right. Okay, so that's what the heck does Putin want with Chernobyl? So I've got that. That's scary. It's okay. What we should ask after that, actually, at 13 and a bit, is will Putin succeed or will Putin start using like dirty bombs and what have you in other places?
Hang on, Becca's got a question that
Okay.
he wants us to look at later.
Sure, absolutely.
From a reading she did, she's trying to figure out what it meant. Okay, so what's your question, Autumn? I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't. This is so awful. I can't even believe I'm saying this.
Will he succeed?
Will Putin start using dirty bombs and things like that?
Chemical warfare, any of the nasty?
Yeah. Danielle says, I have a prescription for Valium. I very seldom take it. Groovy people, I'm here to tell you, I have been into the Valium. I do not blame you. Do not blame you. Why can't people just be nice? True. Elizabeth M is saying he already poisons his enemies.
Yeah. As McCain used to say, he's a killer.
Oh yeah, he absolutely has serial killer energy. And every time I read on him, I get mental images of him watching torture. It's not pleasant. Oh boy, what are you getting?
I'm actually getting kind of good news. Got King of Wands on the bottom, and I feel like this is other foreign leaders. Like he's hanging on, he's taking these actions, but I get there's an action that like two other countries, and they're showing up as queens here for me, that two other countries are going to take that burden him immensely. Like he's going to regret doing this. It's going to mess with his defenses and change everything. So I get he's delayed from securing Ukraine. I think he might get that little bit that he annexed right at the start. But I'm getting ultimately he's going to have to walk away.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. What I'm getting is that if Putin tries to use, if he uses a dirty bomb, if he uses this kind of stuff, this is usually not a nice card, but I'm being drawn to the kind of wavy lines here, and it feels like concocting, and the lines feel like radioactive, and to cause confusion. But if he does, the world is going to shut him down like nobody's business.
I don't have the tower card or anything that shows weaponry like swords, or weapons.
Good.
Oh,
I think he has thought about it, though.
Yeah, absolutely. So Becca was getting in the, if we can divert for 1 second from your question list, she did a box square with Lenormand and was getting that Trump helped take away something from the Ukraine air that helped Putin. So she's asking, what is that about? So it's like, is it the airspace? Is it a satellite, something in the air? Like, what is it?
Could be drones.
Drones. So what did Trump help Putin take away from the air of Ukraine in some agreement? He wasn't giving them the money support, back what caused the first impeachment. He wasn't, he was trying to get them to pay to play and wasn't giving them the support that we had already agreed to give them.
Go ahead, please. You are my guest.
I'm getting at something in the defenses. Something that would affect their security in Ukraine. Explosions, airstrikes, victory with this, taking away their strength. This is just like changing the fortunes, and it's big change with the death card. It's big change. It was a power move again, and I think he did this for Putin. So specifically, trying to get exactly. It may not work though, because I get Biden in having this. Like, I think Biden's aware that Trump took something away from the airspace. he's already got some agreements in there to delay the bully. So whatever it is, I think it looks to me like Biden's already taking care of it. And I feel like he's got another country that he's working with that's also going to help take care of whatever this is Trump did. I'm going to say like drones, bombs, or aircraft that he was supposed to provide to Ukraine or something.
V suggesting missile defense. Yeah, someone. V was also suggesting radar equipment, what have you.
I think it's bombs or of some kind or missile weapons because of the tower card. Mm-hmm. If it was radar, I think I would get something different.
Okay. What I'm getting is, I wonder if what was taken, if it had to do with what Trump was impeached for, where it was, oh, you think you'll be safe, you'll get all of these weapons, but I'm going to hold on to the weapons and I'm going to be a thief unless you do what I want you to do. And you bring out information about whatever. And that they were very hemmed in and tied. So I wonder if it goes back to that, where it was whatever was in that agreement that Trump was holding up on. I wonder if it even refers back to that kind of thing, because what I've got, that was quite the message. But what I've got since is, yes, I think Biden helped, NATO helped. I don't think they're in nowhere near as bad a situation as they'd be in if Trump was still in power.
And let's not forget, Mike Pence's brother sold parts to Putin for military weapons and stuff.
Oh boy!
It's no wonder we see such a divide in the Republican Party about how to handle Putin. It's like, because they're making money off of him, in cahoots with him.
It doesn't explain Tucker.
Yeah.
It doesn't explain him. I mean, I so wish he would just go home and just roll around in his vault of money, his vault of coins like Scrooge McDuck, and just leave us alone. But no, he's out there. We have to ask ourselves, why are we against Putin? Okay, well.
Lucky Girl's saying Trump delayed Ukraine approved funding from Congress so Ukraine could get air defense weapons. So I think we're right on the money.
Okay, good. Paula had a question. I think we could just have a quick look at, because it's a hypothetical. How would the Russian invasion of Ukraine have played out if Trump was still president?
I think it would have quietly just gone along and nobody'd say a word. They'd be like, yay, go. Because Trump has already put out, he thinks that Putin's a genius,
Yeah.
So I think they would have just quietly gone along with it, like Crimea, and next thing you know, Putin's in there.
Well, I'll never forget, there was an article I read. It was by a Republican he was a young Republican, and he was talking to someone else who was also a young Republican. And I don't know the circles well enough to know, but they were there, and one was saying to the other, it was, oh, I was at Mar-a-Lago and I got to meet the president. Oh, really? What'd you say? What did he say? And he said, well, I asked him, this is from a Republican, mind you, this is not satire. I said, what is the J in your name, as your middle name? What does the J in your name stand for? And Trump said, genius.
We're like genetically flawed with a J.
Right. And yeah, J for genius.
Or junk.
Junk. Jerk. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know you're the guest. I just have to say this. I wonder if Trump wouldn't have tried to sell weapons to Russia. America, we have all the stuff here. Here, take it.
I think they would have captured it. There's an alliance there between Trump and Putin, and working together, the power play. We would have seen a lot more. Evacuees.
Refugees.
Refugees. Yeah. Thank you. Couldn't think of the word. They would have secured it. It's like it would have just been done quick. And then when they moved on, they'd be talking about trying to open, Ukrainian Trump Tower. Businessman Trump would have kicked in.
Oh boy, 26 and a bit. All right, 20, let's say 26:15. Is there a chance in the future for Ukraine to become a member of NATO?
I meant to look at that last night and forgot. So this is a good question. Will they become a member of NATO? Like, to me, I'd be putting them in that right away, because that would piss Putin off extremely.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the one thing. And the next thing Kirsten and I were looking at last night is, will Putin actually try to invade Belarus or somewhere else who is a member of NATO?
And he's already got military there in Belarus, and
is that not Belarus? Estonia. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Estonia.
I keep hearing Poland, like he'd go after
Poland. Yeah.
Like he would just keep eating away. Slovenia, all those countries around there. Everything that used to be a part of Russia, he would go after first.
Yeah. So will Ukraine become a part of NATO.
And please go first if you get your cards pulled. You know me, I shuffle longer.
Oh. They're going to have to be, there are parts of Ukraine that are going to have to be liberated first. There has been a lot of aggression. I was just actually, I don't know why, I was just pulling 3 cards and 4 fell out. But Putin doing whatever he wants, holding Ukrainian people in parts of Ukraine hostage. And then at the end, I have a Queen of Swords, which would be, yes, becoming a part of NATO. But this fell out, and it feels like it's at an angle. It's like really unstable. So they can eventually, but there are parts of Ukraine that have to be liberated first.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting the same thing. It's like the devil's in your doorstep here. And NATO tries to be fair, open, and honest, right? The open and honest queen balance. So judgment on them. Something has to change first. I do get victory on it, but for right now, they've got some things they've got to work on to get the partnerships. And, there's a certain part of when you're in NATO contributing financially, and unfortunately, Ukraine has had to take a lot of money from other countries to be ready to try to fight Russia, right?
Exactly.
So I get they've got to move on from the fight right now before they do get it. But I do get there's a partnership coming for them. It's just going to be a while.
Yeah. Okay, so
they're not going to let them in while Russia's sitting there in their territory.
Right. All right, so let me just put it up because we should ask. You were getting Poland. Will Putin try to invade Poland?
I feel like he'll like try to get some of the smaller countries and then go after Poland. What's interesting too, like some of the comments that Putin said, he's very Hitler-esque. I mean, he was making anti-Semitic comments, and I think Zelenskyy is Jewish, if I remember right.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he is. So yeah, so let's go in, take territories, and push the Jews out. You know.
Gee, where have you heard that before?
Poland is predominantly Catholic, so that would be right up Putin's alley.
And you and I are both in the Chicago-ish area, and there's a huge Polish community here.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn is saying, yes, Zelenskyy is part Jewish.
I don't know why I remembered that, but
Let me check.
I get a yes. I get it. I get he's looking at all the options, all the places he could take. Like, look at all these places, and what do they have that I want? So, is there something about Poland that he wants? You know, maybe because it is predominantly Catholic. I don't know. But yeah, change and the judgment card, a power play by Putin, going in quickly, taking the properties and everything, burdening them, and victory. I get a big yes card.
You think he'd be successful? You think he will be successful?
I think he would want to go after it. Now, I think he's going to get shut down over Ukraine eventually here, and we should look at that like long term. How does Putin fare from all this?
Yeah, because for Poland, I'm getting definitely talking about it, definitely not listening to reason, but NATO just shutting him down.
Look at that, a lot of the same cards, the victory card and the cup right in the middle.
This is don't do it, Vlad. They are going to shut you. You do not want the full force of NATO attacking Russia. And that's what would happen. And it would not end well for Russia.
So let's ask, like, over the next 2 years, how's this going to work out for Putin? Okay, or over the next year, because he's gone into Ukraine, how's this going to work for him? Yeah, he's trying to start World War III.
Take 2 years.
We digress from the list of questions. Sorry, guys.
But everybody knows I'm here every day. So whatever is here, I may not be able to cover it with the fantastic, very talented Jen Lynn. But if you can put up with it just being me, we'll do it tomorrow. No worries.
Anything we don't get to today?
Yep. Yeah, we're talking about Ukraine Warrior Witch. Putin. The other thing I was asking with Kirsten yesterday was why is Putin doing this? Why is he going full bore now?
In his later years, like why didn't he do it while Trump was president?
What I have been getting personally is one of the reasons he's gone after Ukraine now is because he got some kind of intel, something from Trump that is time sensitive. Like it's only going to be reliable for a certain amount of time. But as far as the rest of it goes, oh yeah, definite. This has Adolf's energy all over it.
Is it possible they could bring him up to the what is that, the world?
The Hague?
Yeah, for crimes against humanity. I get number one, he is out in the cold from everybody. There's a strong hope with America coming in. It feels like everything that Russia has worked towards to inherit just like goes to dust. But I feel like there's going to be more illumination behind why Putin is trying to secure all these places and the moves that he's made. But I get he's got like trouble like in a big court.
Okay, big court. Big court is good.
All this sneaky stuff and people that have died because of him and unless he ends up dead.
Oh, funny you should say that. Jenlin.
Four swords too.
Yeah.
He could end up dead, taken out.
Yeah. In 2 years, what I've got is there's a lot of there's things like the sanctions and what have you. I've just done a number on Russia. And this is him still thinking he can swan around, but these are the Western powers who are basically stopping the money flow. But there was one of the previous ambassadors to Russia who was on TV, I think it was, or somebody else, was on the news saying they had personally talked to various oligarchs, and he said the bubble these people are in is so removed from reality. You can't even understand how removed from reality they are. I do have judgment here for him. And again, Western democracy is going against him, and I think he might be betrayed.
Yeah, I just pulled 3 more cards to clarify. I think somebody's going to take him out. I think they'll take him out.
Yes, unfortunately, if that's going to happen, not before he's killed a lot of people.
Yeah. He's already killed a lot.
Well, more people.
This man sends people into other countries to poison people that he doesn't like. I mean, he's so vengeful.
Yes, lucky girl for entertainment purposes only. Exactly. What else have we got here?
Warm my tea up.
Oh, yeah.
I bring carafes of water with me.
Oh, there we go. All right,
so I have to go off camera to warm my tea up.
I don't know that there's a Paula. I don't know that we're going to read on your question just because Paula was asking, is the Russian invasion time to interfere and distract from Trump's legal issues? I don't think so. I think Putin is so far up in his own head.
I thought it was interesting that President Xi in China recognized Ukraine and those areas that Putin was trying to annex as part of Ukraine, like that, they were free and sovereign nations. I thought it was really interesting that he's backing Ukraine as opposed to Russia, because I thought he would use this
in China.
Yeah, I thought he would use this as an excuse to go after Taiwan.
Is that new? Because last I heard, China was siding with Russia very tentatively.
It was something I saw yesterday, and I was like catching snippets of news.
Okay.
Um, I want to say it was on like Andrea Mitchell or something.
Oh, okay.
Sarah?
Thank you, Sarah. I was because last night I was also reading on this, and I was Kirsten and I were looking at, is China going to back Putin and all this kind of stuff. And what I got was the 10 of Wands from China saying, we've got to clean up from the Olympics. We've got sweeping to do. I can't. I'm just so much cleaning. I mean, big party, so much cleaning. Sorry.
It just interesting that Putin goes over there to the Olympics and waits until I think there was definitely agreement, like, don't do anything till after the Olympics are over because we're on the world stage right now.
Okay. Celestial Lightworker says Sweden is now on heightened alert. Sweden? Sending troops to their northern border. Do you have a link for that? I would love to pull up that news.
So, Linda's saying Poland has 6% of the world's, or 9% of sulfur copper ore.
Oh, there's all kinds of natural minerals and yeah, and I would think Finland, but then again, Finland tries to stay relatively neutral. I forgot what I was going to say because now I'm like
reading chat.
Sweden?
Biden's announcing more sanctions on Russia right now as we speak.
Okay.
Caught that on the MSNBC.
Okay, I let's just look at that because is in this. Okay, let's say at 43 minutes. Is this before Putin's shut down? Will Putin attack other places, other countries, countries? I mean, if he's taken the pain of the sanctions anyway. And that's kind of the problem with fighting somebody who was trained in psychological warfare. Biden said we're sanctioning their banks.
So he's putting more sanctions on the banks. He's already put a bunch on, but
I don't think so. Like, I don't think Sweden has anything to worry about right now.
I'm getting they're moving in air defense, air weapons, air defense of some kind around Sweden, like, so because they're looking to try to help Ukraine. They may be setting up something so that drones or something, air defense.
Okay.
To send a message to burden Putin here. I don't it's a bullying thing. I don't think Putin will be successful at going after other countries. It's like all his sneaking around the world, they'll shut him down. They'll all work together to stop him.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. Oh, I'm definitely getting. Don't be a fool. He may have delusions that he can do whatever he wants here, but if he goes after a NATO, if he actually attacks a NATO nation,
it's all over.
It's all over for him. That's true, Desert Dawn. Fumes from Chernobyl can affect Sweden. I remember when Chernobyl, they had the explosion at Chernobyl, the radioactive cloud spread across Europe. And there was even a point at which they were keeping, even back then, they were keeping these kind of Geiger counter type machines up on rooftops in general, because they were just trying to judge radiation levels and keep an eye out for dirty bombs even back then. But apparently the numbers were so high, there were some places they just like brought them inside or took them down, because it was just like, it's awful. You don't want to know. So, do you mind if we just look at that? We looked at dirty bombs, but will Putin create a nuclear disaster? Oh, we read on the nicest things, don't we?
Then it would affect everybody around.
Yep.
Everybody keeps talking about how Putin has Parkinson's, and I don't get that at all. Like, yeah, he was in China for the Olympics. He doesn't have any of the shaking or anything with Parkinson's, or any of the head twitching or anything. And the videos that they've been playing of him speaking to his own people, he doesn't look like he has Parkinson's. I don't get that vibe off of him.
Well, I haven't picked up that either, but I get that he's not a spring chicken.
Yeah.
And he definitely has some health problems. But for some reason he is very, very focused right now on his legacy. Now, why, if that's because his health is collapsing, or he's afraid of
cancer or something.
Cancer or I don't know, but right now he is so focused on legacy.
Yeah.
So, Putin going to cause a nuclear disaster?
A nuclear disaster.
Because that would definitely hurt NATO.
Interesting, because I've got the legacy card on the bottom.
And everybody, thank you for being here. I'm getting a no. For what it's worth, I am getting the world. It's like he might be trying to do whatever he's trying to do, but the rest of the world is doing everything they can to, as soon as possible, in any way, shape, or form, to try to shut down any kind of problem. So that's what I'm getting. What are you getting?
I get he would think about it, but he would get shut down. So I'm like, if it would give him access to money, like the banks and everything, and if he like feels completely isolated and hemmed in, I get like it runs like a little loop in his head. He would think about it, but I get he'd have to walk away. That the whole world would come after him.
Oh yeah. Yep. Okay.
The whole world's going to come after him anyway. I mean, that's just.
Yeah. Is there I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to
Sorry.
interrupt you.
You look at how many countries are in support of Ukraine. The world's going to come after Russia.
Yeah. So, is there anything else we should read on that, or can we just go look at the New York stuff for a bit?
Absolutely.
Okay.
An hour on Putin is enough.
Yes.
Or 45 minutes or whatever it was.
50-30. I know you read on some of this stuff last night, but if you're up to it, otherwise I just want to double check the energy. In the cold light of a new day, what's going on with Alvin Bragg? What the heck? Talk about someone who has lost his whole mind. To me, if this is true, and it looks like it is, but if it is true that he's like, no, we can't flip Weisselberg, so we're not going to bring any charges against Trump. With the amount of evidence that's already been presented that we've seen, this is a betrayal.
They've already indicted Trump-org also. Like, he's got all the evidence that they need. And
Paul is saying he was threatened, maybe. Guaranteed. But the thing is that you don't take that job without knowing you are going to be under immense threats. You just are. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that's just how it is. And if you can't take that pressure, quit. Leave. And anybody who's saying whatever political ambitions this guy thinks he has, the good way to go down as a villain in history. I know what I wanted to ask next.
I'm getting similar cards I was getting last night. It's like there's a payoff here and a cover-up. The devil's involved, in all the real estate business, and the payoff victory, securing, what they want. He's in partnership with the family business. That's what I'm getting. So he's blowing it all up and manipulating. I think he's dirty. I don't get the bully card today, but last night I was getting the bully card, like he was kind of pushed into it. So blackmailed or pushed or something.
Ding. Card for the reading. Suspension of the cases. Very emotional. Very, very emotional. But I got my money.
Sitting pretty financially.
Oh, that's right over here. Actually, this is actually Trump, where this is our disappointment. Letting Trump skate. However, I will say this. There's a prosecutor sitting right here who is not going to keep his mouth shut. I think it may be one of the prosecutors who quit or
Pomeretz or done.
Something. And Trump still has a lot that's going to come against him. Normally this is what the wands are what the Trump people would throw, but this feels like a lot. It's like, no, this isn't over. This isn't over. Now, here's my question, because I asked Sarah for help this morning, and she was digging through, and I, trying to find information. So at 54:15, because I've got to write this stuff down. 50, is it 54? Yeah, 54:30. At 54:30, there is one body, that could do something about this, that could do something about Bragg, and that is the State Legislature of New York, who are mostly Democratic. Warrior Witch, what isn't over? We're talking about the trying to hold Grift Co. and the grifters accountable for for allegedly breaking the laws and whatnot. So will the New York State Legislature, or whomever that would be,
Do an investigation into what's going on.
Do something to make sure
Because
this
they
goes
could
to trial.
impeach him, right? They could impeach Bragg.
Something like that. I don't know if it's the state legislature would do that, but apparently they're the ones who have power over the Manhattan DA to make sure this goes to trial. All right.
Because I kept getting last night that like Dunn and Pomerantz, like they're going to be talking to somebody. Let's see.
You know, we had our official U.S. Pluto return on, what was it, Saturday, I think it was Sunday, and it was like, oh, okay, all right, nothing blew up that day too badly, and I was like, all right, okay, things, some trouble overseas, what have you, and then now it's just like a fire hose of, are you kidding me? Power. Pluto is all about power for the sake of power. It is ruthless. It is.
So you have Republicans, siding with Putin, and other Republicans siding with Biden, but think he's not being forceful enough, and still trying to make Biden look bad. And
all right, New York State Legislature. One thing that did come to me this morning, though, even though it's just a civil case, Swalwell popped in my head this morning. It was like, not only does Swalwell have a political interest in going after Trump, I mean, I'm not going to be naive about that, but he can't be bought. And the judges said his case can go forward. So, New York Legislature.
This is going to get more attention than I think Bragg realized he was going to get on this, because I get somebody's talking to the New York State Legislature already. Something new that they've secured about the cover-up. Moneyed news from the Justice Department, DOJ, like something they're covering up. Be patient, because this is going to give birth to something new as far as the Trump org. I still see them going into defense mode somehow, but there's things are going to change, I think, for this Bragg guy, because it looks to me like there's going to be an investigation coming in.
Yes,
and rather quickly, because something's been manipulated.
I like that. Linda Johnson is saying maybe the attorney that quit will go over to Letitia James and give her all the information. Just is also quite possible.
Well, they were already, I think, sharing information.
True.
And taxes and everything.
But it isn't the case, but I'm just surprised she doesn't have, since she's the Attorney General for New York State, I would have thought she would have been, not if not his boss, at least have some sway there, but it's not my state. What I have at the moment is his actions are seen as horrendous. I agree. There's already talk. This is right in the middle. There's already talk in the state legislature. And I also get the sheer amount of money swirling around in New York politics is just crazy. Absolute craziness. But for all that, yes, prepare for the gloating. I've got to warn everybody. Trump's gloating. That's coming.
Yeah.
And people will stand up for Trump. Eventually, this is very clear. This energy feels very good. This is, oh no, America will pass judgment. There will be judgment against Trump the man. There is a good person here who is going to stand up. A righteous person who I think might replace Bragg or something. But I'm getting, this is the first good news I've had since this broke yesterday. So
he's an elected official, so they can always just vote him out.
Yeah, but not for a while.
Yeah, right, Joanne. It's just too obvious. It's going to get a lot of attention that he wasn't expecting. It's just too obvious, especially after already indicting Weisselberg and Trump org. It's like he obviously had evidence.
Yeah. Oh boy. So
thank you, Cece.
Thank you. Thank you for that information. Okay, Section 13 of the New York State Constitution, the governor may remove any elective sheriff, county clerk, district attorney, or registrar within the term for which he or she shall have been elected. But before doing so, the governor shall give to such officer a copy of the charges against him or her and an opportunity of being heard in his or her defense. Charges. Yes, Kristen Davis. I realize Letitia James, her case is civil, not criminal. But, I think New York State might actually do something. That would be.
The governor has little used power to remove elected officials.
Maybe
we should look at it from that perspective. That new governor that replaced Como. Let's ask it that way.
102.
Give me her name. I've forgotten her name.
I don't know. I don't remember.
The New York governor, not the mayor, the governor.
Remove Bragg. Andrea Callis. No, that's somebody who's in the chat. Hochul, thank you.
Hochul.
Kathy.
Will Hochul do anything about Bragg?
Kathy with the K.
We have the best subscribers and viewers, so they always help us out in the chat.
Oh, absolutely. We have the best community. You guys are awesome. I would just be sitting here. I'd still be scrubbing the cat. I'd be scrubbing the cat trees now at this point. I'd still be mad. Just there wouldn't be a cat hair in this house except it wasn't on the cats.
I'll bring you over here and let you do some cleaning. I hate housework.
I'm not saying I like it. I'm saying I'm just burning off calories.
And just working off some energy.
Yeah. All right, Hochul. Come on, Hochul. You know, didn't we always pick up it was a woman who was going to bring Trump down? And it's just Letitia James, maybe Hochul.
Fannie Willis down in Georgia.
Yep, Fannie Willis. And
maybe Liz Cheney with the January 6th committee. And
yeah. Okay, Hochul.
Well, I kept getting something about a woman last night, and I couldn't figure it out. So let's look at Hochul. Is she going to do something about Bragg?
I don't want to get my hopes up. but maybe. Doesn't start out, but I've got exposure of Bragg is like right up front. Exposure of what Bragg's done. Then I've got people working together, Democrats working together. Then I've got a big old world, Bragg out of office, happy Democrats. But I don't want to get my hopes up.
I've got celebrating on the bottom too, but I'm also getting if she's got support to go after him. So if she's got legislators and stuff that are telling her go after Bragg, she's looking at was there a payoff and strength on that. Like it highly looks susceptible. It's like, okay, Bragg, you're new, you just got here in this position, but what the hell have you done? You've blown everything up. So I get like an investigation moving in. I get that there is a money payoff here. It may take some time to go through all the murkiness and everything.
Yeah, there's definitely a delay, a little bit, but it's not as bad as I would have thought.
Yeah, but I do get like something will get wrapped up here and an action taken, eventually. So there's a lot of work that has to be done on an investigation. All right, Hochul. Put some good vibes around her. See if she's got the backbone to go after him.
Be nice if somebody finally does. I've got some questions here. Have you picked up anything about Ginni Thomas, Clarence Thomas?
She, we were reading on that last night because she's now been discovered to be involved in that fake elector scam, as well as, getting funding for transportation to the January 6th riot and stuff. So she's involved in more crap. But it's like, I don't get like she ends up in court or anything, but I always get something happens with Clarence because of her.
Oh, good. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Like his reputation is so tarnished. He's like.
So Ginni Thomas was a part of the
fake electors.
So the wife of a sitting Supreme Court justice
is a part of pushing for the fake electors. So will that get her finally in enough trouble to do her in?
Well, it isn't her I'm worried about. It's him.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to ask quickly, will Clarence Thomas have to step down? Or will he step down?
Like, will enough come out on her that he's stubborn? His energy is stubborn.
Oh yeah, he's so full of himself. He thinks he is, and the thing is it's like I look at his energy and it's like he's up there and he's like puffed himself up so he can look down his nose at the little people.
Untouchable.
Interesting. What are you getting, my friend?
It burdens him. It puts him in defense mode. Eventually, if enough of the truth comes out, if we learn enough about her, it burdens him so bad that like he exits. But it's going to take a while. It's like he's going to be in defense mode. It's like there's going to be a lot of backstabbing going on, but we have to hear the truth. Like it's got to be brought out in public hearings or something. There's got to be a lot of conversation that we hear to understand the legacy of her. And I get in particular about the money that was raised for the transportation. But also,
you mean this money?
yeah, all that money. Where did it come from? And also a little bit of the fake electors, but I'm getting more about the money that was raised. So I think it's going to come down to the public hearings when they start them.
Well, strangely enough, what I've got right up front is it's actually strange. It's because you would think if Clarence Thomas steps down that would be a big deal. And I do have major arcana, and I do have success for Democrats, but it's almost like a gentle, like, I'm going to leave the court for family reasons or my health reasons or something that allows him to save face. But boy, if I got, hang on, let me put these up together here quickly. For her and him stepping down, there's corruption evidence. You were talking about gathering evidence right there, and then judgment about all of this. Biden picking a Democrat picking another Supreme Court justice. You're done. New Supreme Court justice.
I've always felt like Biden's going to name 3. Trump named 3, and I always feel like Biden's going to name 3. So
I've picked up on at least 2, if not more. So at least
he's going to have problems getting the first one through. We were reading on that last night, the top 3 runners Biden's talking with, and he's going to have trouble getting his pick through because of McConnell.
Oh, McConnell will do anything to stop it, and this poor woman is going to they are going to be so underhanded. They are going to be so they're going to try to come up with a fake Blasey Ford witness. They're going to try.
It's going to be like Christine Blasey Ford. They're going to just go after her.
Yeah, it's going to be no holes barred. But all right, so we got that. The other question that was here was about Vonky, Princess Grift, as I call her, Ivanka.
I call her Fifi.
Fifi, Princess Fifi Grifter. She's in talks to talk to the January 6th committee. I don't even know if that's even worth looking at. But what's going to happen to Princess Fifi Grifter, just overall? Because she's probably going to go talk. And I think I saw your, was it you were doing the reading, and it was about how she was going to, you think she'd let some stuff slip.
Yeah, Donnie was picking up that she's going to let something slip. Like accidentally say something that she shouldn't have said. I'm still getting
Griftco going down. I'm still getting bad, like Griftco being torn apart.
Yeah.
But and did you read the Vanity Fair article about Ivanka and her life in Florida?
No.
Bubble. Clueless.
Little Fifi
rules.
Trying to play with the other expensive homeowners.
Well, it's like rules do not apply to her. I mean, even down to there's a sign that says no dogs allowed on the beach, this stretch of beach. And it's because there are sea turtles and sea turtle eggs. And she's got her dog and she's just walking down there. And somebody ran after her and was like, look, you can't bring your dog down here. And she was just like, oh, I didn't know. And the woman's like, the sign's right there. And she just went, oh.
That sign's not for me. That's
No.
for you and your dog.
Yeah. There was a Halloween, big Halloween community thing, and everybody was allowed to take one pumpkin. She took two.
She's always got to have more.
I was going to have something that doesn't belong to her.
Yeah. Rules just do not apply to Fifi.
Mm-mm.
Always get moving with her. Moving. Like relocating, moving.
Like Israel.
Yeah, like somewhere. Hey, for me, like pack your bags, you're moving, is this, and then the chariot is also a moving card for me. Trying to walk away, trying to skirt all the issues. But what's interesting is I start with the world card. Like that's completion. Like
Right.
that's ending. That means something new's getting ready to happen, and she's all anxious. So she's done. She's toast. The investigators coming after her. Something new that she's got knowledge of cover-ups that her father did is what I'm getting. I do get she'll agree to talk, but I'm not sure. Like she may change the story about the supporters, at the January 6th. It's not an out and out lie. It's just the story changes,
Mm-hmm.
But I think she tries to get away somewhere overseas, somewhere where she's got a friend, if she has a friend.
I'm not getting moving in this reading. I normally do. I think this is just talking about other stuff. What I am getting is this is just a bubble. She's just in this bubble, looking at her greatness, and it's going to be burst. The Griftco will be dissolved. It will be taken apart. Someone is going to stand up to her, to her family, to the situation, and things are going to change. And this feels more like the way they used to work in Griftco, and
the
refusal.
Day-to-day grifting.
Exactly. This is a refusal, but she ends up. She can't protect her father. There's too much evidence. But she tries, and she does the whole breathy voice thing, which drives me nuts. She's got Kushner's money to fall back on for now.
Yeah.
But I have been picking up too that they're going to go to Israel or something. And yes, there is an extradition agreement between the U.S. and Israel, but
would it get honored?
And that paperwork, maybe we misplaced it for a few years, and
I mean, there's like what $600 million that she and Jared made while working for Trump in the White House. It's like, who has time to earn $600 million if you're working in the White House for crap?
Lining your own pockets.
Yeah, it's like they weren't doing anything for the country. All they were doing was trying to make their own money.
Mm-hmm. So why don't we finish off, if that's okay, with Trump? Just a What's going to happen to Trump? What is the state of that? So at 1:20. And thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me. I would have joined you last night if I'd caught the email early enough. But I was also trying to catch up on the news because I hadn't seen the news. I was like, what's going on in the world?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Thank you to the moderators. They've been awesome.
Yes, you guys are awesome. Thank you. So, Trump. Now, beyond the gloating, because we know the gloating's coming. But we'll just ignore the gloating. What's gonna happen to Trump? Yes, he's very happy right now. There was a headline that said that 500,000 people have joined Truth Social. I don't believe that for a second.
And they're having problems with it already.
Yeah.
This is kind of funny.
What have you got?
I always get he's going to end up in a mental institute. I don't get him in jail. I always get him. He's going to be put up because he's a security threat or whatever. I'm like, yeah, he's going to be going away somewhere in a little padded cell where he can claim his victories all day long. And the little thief be put away, taken away in an ambulance or whatever, and very unbalanced, hiding away. But I get in an institution like a mental clarity, mental institution, and I get that he will be grifting off of the doctors. Because in a personal health reading, the King of Cups shows up for me as a doctor. He'll be grifting the doctors. I won, and you owe me money. I can sell you this nice robe with the open back.
Mm-hmm. Well, for what it's worth, it's not good. I don't get any good. I get a card for the reading. I got poverty. I've got America's done with him. Republicans are looking down at their laps like, who? I don't know anybody named what? Huh? And also the far right people are so entrenched in this muck of fascism. It's really fascism is what it is. And so
Don in the chat says, "Hey Doc, I need extra Covfefe and Adderall."
Yeah, really, exactly. Whoops! Oh, don't fall. And for all of his bravado, he's going to end up on the defensive. All of his schemes to make money, it's not going to work. And this idea of a dynasty, this feels like it's a static image. This is just because judgment in history over this traitorous
legacy.
Yeah, the legacy. Yeah.
Heartbreak right in the middle and betrayal.
Yeah. Well, but it does, I end every live stream by saying the same thing. And I actually believe it's true. There are good days ahead. And I think that there are even some glimmers of hope here that I was not feeling before I came on. So, and
we're starting to see more and more and more come out. And it's like, like even with Bragg, what he did, it's just shining a light more on corruption that needs fixing in our government.
Yep.
It's like there's definitely something there that'll have to get investigated, but
Yeah.
there are good days ahead.
Yes. And with the Pluto return and Pluto, it really shining a huge light, really bringing out that Pluto energy to the forefront. It's hard to hide. It's hard to hide corruption. It's hard to hide underhanded stuff, or it doesn't stay hidden for long. So this is good. This is good because
I do feel like this thing with Ukraine is going to go on like for months. Like it's not like they're going to kick him out tomorrow. So try not to watch too much of the news. If it's upsetting you, take it in small doses. It's not going to be a let's go in there and take him out.
Right. But this is not going to be the glorious victory he thinks it's going to be.
Mm-mm.
No. All right.
The light always wins over the dark.
Indeed. Exactly. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough. And thank you, Jen Lynn. Really appreciate it. It is 1:31 here in Chicago. At 4 o'clock, I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel, do creative sprints. I'm working on designing my a tarot deck. So I'm working on that. So I'll be doing that during the sprints. And other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow because I'm here 365 days of the year.
Doing all the questions we didn't get to today.
That's true. That's true. But just hang in there, everybody. Remember to breathe. If you're feeling really tense, go clean something. Work out some of that aggression, because then you also get that immediate gratification of being able to look over something and go, oh, that looks nice. So, all right, hang in there. And I will see you tomorrow, but don't forget, there are good days ahead. Take care.
Bye, everybody.